Hi everyone, it's Nicole, and I have another layout for you. I'm just showing you some of the things that I might be using. A lot of it is from the Calico February front row kit, and I did take some stuff from last month's kit and a few things from my stash. I did gather up a lot of supplies, but I like to have it that I just kind of look at what I have here and not have to worry about everything else that's in my craft room. So I do like that. And then I showed you a few of the pages that I'm going to decide to use. And a lot of it is scraps that are left over from previous pages. And I'm going to use this mask from Christy Tomlinson. And I'm going to mist it with Mr. Huey ink. And then at this point, I'm looking at it and it's covered in ink. And then I decide to use it as a stamp. So I just flipped it over and then stamped it on the page. So then you get the negative and the positive of the image. And then I take the same color and then just splatter to the top, well, diagonally from the top right to the bottom left. And then I did it with the white from Studio Calico. And then I'm going to start looking at pages that I can, or papers that I can use to mat my photos. So I'm going to decide on that yellow cardstock, and it's only a very, very thin mat around the photo, but I'm okay with that. I just wanted something to kind of ground it, and then I could use my pattern papers. So at this point I decide on that gradient of colors from, I don't know who made that paper. The bottom strip was cut off, so but it's yellow, blues, and greens. And then I'm going to use just a small strip of that blue paper. And it's sort of like a shelf so that I could have the rest of my embellishments just kind of sitting on it. So I'm looking through that basic gray cut apart sheet, but none of it is the right color for this page. So I'm going to end up putting that away. Just looking through the rest of the stuff that I kind of gathered to see what else I could do. I'm going to end up using that little envelope. We had gotten it in last month's kit and I totally forgot about it. It was kind of hidden behind something else, so I didn't get to use it. So I'm going to use it, try to use them this month. And then I'm going to use that doily. And I'm going to start putting just random stuff from what I picked. Again, I just kind of take stuff and almost throw it on the page like you see at the top there with the arrows. I just kind of set them there and think, okay, I want something there. And then I want something, in the middle. And then I want something at the bottom left, let's say. And then once everything is kind of almost like little piles, then once I start gluing down, then I start committing to exactly what I want. Now this layout took me a minute, yeah, I wish, an hour and 53 minutes. So I had to speed it up quite a bit to be able to, so that it wouldn't be a long recording, because when I tried it at the 4 times speed, it was 28 minutes long, and that's just way too long. 1, for you guys to watch, and 2, for me to narrate. I mean, you can only say so much about a page. So at this point, I start going through my stuff and take out the little wood veneer people. And I was really missing some of the chipboard shapes that we had gotten last month. So I had some in my stash. So I went and got my hearts and decided to use them on this page. And then I used that chevron washi tape and kind of matched it up. And I'm going to punch it out with my punch. And somebody sent me a comment and they wanted to know what the punch was, who made it. And it's a Martha Stewart punch. I'll answer her comment, but just in case she watches this video, it is a Martha Stewart punch. And I really like it. She actually has 3 or 4 of that same series, so you have different sizes of butterflies. So I really like that. And she does the same with the hearts too. So at this point I decide, okay, I have quite a bit, that I've decided, so I'm going to start gluing everything down. And before I do, I am going to steal Mercy Tierra, Tracy's idea of outlining everything. I just found that I had so much mist going on in the background. I needed something to help them pop off the page. So that was why that this time I decided on outlining them. And then I'm going to glue down my little shelf, if you'd want to call it. And I'm using a combination of glue, my ATG, and quick dry adhesive. And then I started gluing down my little die cuts that I cut out from my digital kits that I got this month and got printed at Staples. And then I decide on using, I only had a little tiny piece of ribbon left from a kit from a couple months ago, and I didn't like the reinforcements on those tags, like they were brown, so it really didn't match. So I just kind of stapled a little bit of that ribbon, and I ended up using the rest of that ribbon. And then that clip with the mustache, didn't like that either, just didn't fit this page obviously. So I had one of my flare buttons, it had kind of a map design on it, and it was blue and yellow and I believe a little bit of green, so it matched this page perfectly. So then I glued that to the clip, and then I was going to use it that way. And then I start working on my clusters and decide what I want where. And I took out some of my yellow buttons, and I believe in the end I only end up using one yellow button. And I want to color in my my hearts, so I use the Hero Arts pool ink. Those Hero Arts inks are my favorite. I have Stampin' Up inks. I have all the color families. I even have the craft inks that they don't carry anymore. I have all of those. I have the Close to My Heart inks. I think I pretty much have all of them. I might have maybe 6 missing, maybe. I have the Jenny Bolin. I have the Hero Arts, and probably a few more that I'm forgetting. And I mean, I love them all, but the Hero Arts is the colors. I really love them, and they seem to be matching the Studio Calico kits really well lately. I don't know if that's because they're kind of new colors and they're kind of trendy, and that's the colors that are in right now. So, but I really like them. And then that little camera was actually a paper from Amy Tangerine, and it was just a sheet covered in little cameras, and I can't remember what collection it was from. I don't know if it was the original or so I didn't use the back side of the page at all. I just kept it so that I could cut apart every little camera, and I really like that paper. And now I'm going to keep gluing down my clusters, and behind the butterflies I'm putting some foam tape. And then I ended up using some enamel dots and put it in the center of the butterflies instead of the buttons. And the only cluster that I'm going to have a button is the bottom cluster. And then I'm going to cut a few pieces of twine, and I'm going to ink them up and going to put them underneath the butterfly to pretend it's their flight. And I'm going to do that in each little cluster. And then I'm going to put one in the middle cluster also. So this layout took me 1 hour and 53 minutes. And I finished it this morning when I got home from work. So I have another layout on the go. So I'm hoping to have a few layouts done this week. I have 4 days off, so I plan on I'm going to try and complete 2 layouts a day. Hopefully they won't take me 2 hours each to make, because lately it's been an hour and 15 minutes. So it'll be easier for me to get 2 pages done if they don't take as long. And you saw an arm sticking in there. It was my husband this morning when he got up and saw me in the craft room, and he came over and pointed at something, and he went, "Oops, I think I just stuck my arm in the camera." So even my hubby is involved in the scrapbooking. So I didn't know if I wanted to use the sketchy, I think they're called sketch alphabet from Thickers, or the Pebbles stickers. They're not thickers, they're just stickers from a few months ago. And I decided on the stickers just because I found the color matched a little bit more, and it was a solid tone and not with some white. And the title is what you looking at. And the girl that I work with, we have a pretty funny relationship. We bug each other to death all the time, and we do have lots of laughs, and so that's, I don't know if she said it at that specific moment, but it's something that she would say to me. So I thought it was the perfect title for this page. And that's probably the thing I probably struggle the most with my scrapbook page, is the title, because I don't want to put titles on my page that are kind of redundant. You know, if it's about the park, I don't want to put at the park. You know, like I really want to come up with something more than what is happening. So I kind of spend a bit of time thinking. The whole time I scrapbook, I'm thinking about the title and what the title should be. And even when I'm picking my photos and stuff. And again, I use the U as part of the title. And at this point, I decide to start working on my journaling, and I'm going to journal on those 2 little tags. And it's not as if that it was private journaling. It was more part of the design. I just wanted to be able to use those little envelopes, so I just, wanted to put tags in it and journal on that. So at this point, I believe I'm going to put some ink on my tags, and I'm going to put a little bit of washi tape at the bottom of the tags, and I'm going to cut out around it just to add a little bit of color to the bottom of the tag. And they're not exactly equal, because one of them had a little less journaling than the other. But that's okay. It was just to add some color there. And then I decide to add an enamel dot in the center, just to kind of hide those staples. One in the blue and one in the yellow. And I'm going to stick them back in the pocket. And then at this point, I'm just kind of looking at the page thinking, okay, is there anything else I can add? And then I thought of putting a little heart in the center of the little girls. And I believe at this point, I'm just getting some yellow glimmer glaze just to kind of add that to the page. And the page is done. I'm going to show you a few close-ups and then a few still pictures. And I'm hoping to have a few pages up this week, because I'm off for 4 days, and I plan on trying to catch up on using up that February kit. So thanks for watching. Bye.